Good morning, everybody. It's Emily here from Phoenix Gateway, and I'm bringing to you your general weekly read for the week of the 28th September until the 4th, I think it is, of October. I'm working with my Sacred Geometry Healing card deck, and the link will be below to where these can be purchased. The other thing is I'll be running my last class for this year on the cards, a guide to the Sacred Geometry Healing cards. The class is on the 3rd of October, and you are still welcome to book in if you would like to learn a little bit more about these cards as well as sacred geometry. So I look forward to that this Saturday morning. Okay, so let's start pulling some cards. Also to know that we have our full moon in Aries this week. It's the 1st, 2nd of October. Here in Australia, it is on the 2nd, and I believe it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Well, so looking at Sydney time. Okay, so we've got a couple of cards already coming through, which is the 285 and Shapeshifter. So I'm actually going to pull a few more cards before I actually start reading. I did meditate prior to starting, just to get an overall idea of what the energies would be like this week. A very clear message is to really trust in your instincts at this point in time. Very much also to be riding the wave and going with the flow this week as well. Maybe that's also to do something to do with the full moon that we've got, because a full moon in Aries can be very fiery. So it might be just saying, just to go with the flow. Be very mindful too of how you are feeling emotionally, and if you're feeling fired up as well, maybe you've got to ask yourself why. So the third card to come through is balance. I'm actually going to pull 6 cards and then I'm going to read them today. The other things that were coming up as I go into, before I start reading the cards as I'm pulling them, is I really felt the message coming through is telling you, to trust your instincts, and it's really about tuning in to you and what it is that, I guess, what your needs are now. Where are you at? How are you feeling? I also feel that for some it might be that you're looking at new ways in doing things. So the message coming through was, I had to write it down so I don't forget what I get, is, that it might be you're looking for new resources, and through those resources you're looking at different practical applications in which you can bring through your work, or in which you can deal with situations on the home front, on the work front. Okay, we've got quite a few cards. I might just actually, I'm going to put these back because too many just flew out, actually. 2 more cards, and then I'm going to start reading. So the card that just came out prior to all the other ones is the 852. This is all about intuition and wisdom, and this actually will go with about trusting instincts and tuning in, because here we go, the foundations. And it's about creating stability, and it may be about where you're feeling right now on your path. Okay, 1 more card, and then I'm going to read these cards. Okay, 1 more card, please, and thank you. And, for some it might be that you feel you need to start again, or you need to, or like I said, it's about finding new resources and other like practical applications in which to bring your work about, and just understand and know that, nothing is wasted. Nothing you have already done is wasted, because it's what we actually get to learn from. I'm just going to pull a card. Okay. and it's the dodecahedron. All right, and the bottom of the deck is harmony, which is interesting because we also have the balance card that came through before. All right, so the first card that's come through is the 285, and I really feel, it's about really going in, loving ourselves, because the card number is a 24, 2 and a 4 is 6, and the 285 is all about our optimal health and well-being. It's about looking after our body. It's about looking after our mind, and our mental state. And what this card is reminding us are, I feel, something that I've spoken about a number of times now, and three main things that's so important to do, especially now, understanding, with what we're going through with COVID, is it's important to laugh. It's important to breathe. So it's really important to be mindful of your breath, because when we are feeling out of balance, when we're not in flow, when we're not in harmony, okay, we bring about a lot of emotion that is unwarranted, that actually causes us to bring through anxieties and stresses and forms of depression, anger, whatever it might be. But when we breathe, when we truly bring ourselves back to center, we concentrate on the breath, breathing in through the nose, holding that breath, but bringing that breath all the way down into our belly, and even down into the sacral. And from there, holding it for maybe 5-10 seconds, and then breathe out, and getting to that point where we start centering ourselves and creating that even flow. But also, what is so important is what we're ingesting. And for me in particular, what's been on my mind, because I'm probably, throughout COVID, even more so than ever, is the way I've been eating. And when we get stuck into eating processed sugary foods, we're actually depleting our energy. We're bringing our frequency down. So what's really important is eating plant matter. It's more about being able to eat that light, which is all part of plant, because it's the way that plant photosynthesizes, and it's what it's feeding us. So it's really being mindful of all that as well. Maybe juicing for you is a really good thing to start as well. Or if you're a really big meat eater, maybe cut back a bit on the meat. In particular, I feel more red meat, and just go from there. Okay. So like I said, trust your instincts, tap into your intuition, into your knowledge. And this is it. We already have within us this inner knowledge, this ancient wisdom that lies within us. And even though we are not shapeshift, we can't physically shapeshift, we can energetically shapeshift. And it's about changing our thoughts, changing our perception. And as we start to create changes in our thought, it's what we then start to create. It's then the energy that we're putting out there, and that is so, so important. And it really is, this week about trusting your instincts, as I keep repeating. It's about changing your thought processes. It's about going more with flow and balance. And as you do that, you will start finding yourself being able to tap into those new resources, and those practical applications that you are there for you, to help you and assist you with whatever it is you're doing at the moment. It is hugely important to maintain balance. And what's really, really interesting, because this is the bottom of the deck, is that the underlying geometry of the Taurus is the vector equilibrium, as you see here. And it is it is the most balanced of all geometries. And So yeah, one of the ways you could do this is through your breath, and excuse my dog barking. Another way is by listening to certain frequencies, like I highly recommend the solfeggios, but even the 432 hertz. It might be that if you're lucky enough to be living near water and it's in within your 5 kilometre zone, especially here in Melbourne as we're still under lock and key, that maybe you can go and you can sit with water and you can sit with the flow. You'll also notice that the number at the top is the 40, and 4 is all about our foundations. And actually underneath the harmony card is surrender. So when we start to surrender to that which we can no longer control, it allows us, it opens up, 261, because the netting of this particular shape, which is the tesseract or the hypercube, um, this when we net it into this position, it can be netted into 261 positions. So it means that we open up new avenues, new directions to go more with the flow and the direction in which we are going. And it's really important that we're tapping into source. Okay, it is really important that we work on ways in heightening our intuition by raising our vibrational frequency. And the way we can do that is already with the foods we eat, what we drink. It's about meditation, mindfulness. It's about being in nature. It's about our breath, and it's about laughter as well. So we can use all these different means. Listen to the solfeggio frequencies. They are here. They attune beautifully to our cellular structure, and when our body can actually, everything in our world is governed by really music, because it is a sound frequency. And when we're in flow, when we're in tune, we are healthy and we are well and we're in resonance. But when we're not in tune, when we're sluggish and we're off beat, we are actually in dissonance, and that is not a good place to be. So it's really important, in particular now, under the restrictions that we've been on a worldwide level, that we really look at different ways of looking after ourselves first and foremost, and then what we are, then putting out there energetically, because we're all been through a shake-up. Each and every one of us, our stability, our foundation has been rocked, because no matter what you do, where you are, how much money you have or you don't have, there is a new world that is going to birth, and there are changes that are going to birth. We are no longer under the normality of what we've always known. Things need to change. And you know what? It's actually a really good thing. As hard as it is, and as I keep saying to my kids, and I have to keep reminding myself as well, is that it is not going to last forever. Okay? We need to ride this wave. We need to trust in our instincts as well. And we need to, as the message from most of my weeks have been for a while now, is the need to introspect and the need to go within, because this inside is where we're going to find our truth and our love, and it's then from there, when we get ourselves into balance and we align, wow, can you imagine, what we are then energetically imprinting onto others, because we are all connected. So our foundations are changing, and that is okay. It's going to be bloody awesome. Ride the wave now. Trust in yourself. Be gentle on yourself this week in particular. Like I said, we've got the Aries full moon, and it can be quite fiery. It's also maybe a good thing to really let go of what no longer serves you. One of the things I love to do on a full moon is I'll write down things that I need to release, and I will burn it and let it go with fire. Okay, so wherever you are, have a wonderful week. Take care of you, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. Okay, bye for now.